Next, you open the InDesign folder inside of the Computer Apps 2 folder. Next, we go to Chapter 1 and open the InDesign Chapter 1.6 document.
Oh, Gina's rapping over there too.
The first thing we're going to do is center the circles from largest to smallest, disregarding color. To center the circles, we will use the guidelines. When the perpendicular purple guidelines appear, this circle is centered. Oh gosh, thanks.
That's a good word.
We have 3 bedrooms. This is the dining room. I think this should be the dining room. This should be.
After all of the circles are centered, use the Alt-C command to copy and drag different objects. We are going to copy and drag the blue square to all 4 corners of the document. Now we are going to take the smallest yellow circle and copy and drag it to the center of each blue square. We'll do this using the same Alt-C command. The guidelines will appear in the blue square to show you when your circle is centered.
You wanted me to talk?
So, okay, again, first I'm just gonna try to draw this out, and then the next time we do it,
You have created a document in InDesign. Next, we will save the document under Miranda Elliott as under your InDesign folder as swag. And also save it under your Chapter 1. Save. Now I will show you how to create text. The first thing you need to do is select the Type tool. After you have selected the Type tool, you can click and drag in a diagonal direction to create a text box. After you have created a text box, you can use the selection tool to move the text box. To do this, simply click on the text box and move the mouse. We are going to center the text box so we can use it for our title. You will know the text box is centered once a purple line appears on the screen. Now, you go back to your Type tool and click inside the text box. You can change your font style and font size. Next, you type your title. After typing your title, you can change the color if you want to. To do this, select the Swatches panel and choose your desired color. First, you must highlight the title. You have added text to your document.
We'll now be doing a PowerPoint on computers. You'll have 3 topics to choose from, which would be computer ethics, computer history, and computer maintenance. The first step to doing this PowerPoint is the research.
The topic we have chosen is computer ethics. The golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule that you learned as a young child isn't necessarily the true definition of ethics. Ethics has been different ways of being shown, such as computer ethics, and throughout this PowerPoint you will learn about these ethics. Ethics and computer ethics. Ethics is a set of moral actions that govern a group or an individual. So computer ethics would be the moral behaviors that regulate the use of computers. Cut and paste. Many people know that stealing from a store is wrong. However, just as many people don't know that copying things from the internet is too. This is called plagiarism. This is illegal, and you may have to pay a large fine and may even serve time in jail. If you do not this in school, you may be suspended or even be expelled. Using computers to harm. Another very important part about computer ethics is not using computers to harm anybody. Computers are great and very important in our society, but some people misuse them to hurt others, such as cyberbullying. This can permanently damage someone. Hacking. Hacking is another common thing that is done that goes against computer ethics. This is when someone uses the computer skills to access another person's file or things of that sort. This also be when someone puts a virus on somebody else's computer that causes damage to the computer or erase the file, or even crashes the entire computer. This can result in a person losing everything saved on the computer, whether it is pictures or very important business files. Hacking continued. Hacking is seen as cool by some people, but is not. It is very immature and can be very damaging. Imagine if someone got your locker combination and went through all your stuff and stole some personal items or damaged your stuff. That is just like hacking someone's computer. Software. The copying of software and selling those copies to friends or anybody is also illegal and against computer ethics. Just because you can easily make copies of software and it is hard to get caught distributing them doesn't mean it is okay to do so.
I have some leftover soda if anybody wants some.
Software continued. However, copying software isn't illegal if you do it to use the copy as a backup. This is called fair use provision. So the only time when copying software becomes illegal is when dispute the copy of it. Music. The act of illegally downloading or uploading music is extremely unethical. This is not okay, and it is actually has a great toll on music industry. People who rely on the money they make from music are being hurt very badly by all the illegal downloading. Sometimes you don't even know you're doing this, but you still could get in trouble for it. The temptation out there is very high, considering that one could download software to steal music. To avoid this, As a person downloading music, you need to be very careful and only
During this segment, we will show you how to use some of the basic features of Adobe Photoshop.
We will now select the bear using the quick selection tool. To select the bear, you just run the selection tool over it. If you go over the lines where you don't want to do it, you can just erase it. To touch up on the final details, you can use the zoom tool to zoom in on the image. So you can get all the edges covered. Once you have the image selected the way you want it to, you can go to Edit, Copy, and then go to your background image, go to Edit, Paste. Once you have that image on the screen, you can then use the selection tool to move the object around the screen, or you can select it and go to Edit, Transform. We will now show you how to create text along a path. The first step in doing this is creating the path. To do so, you select the Pen tool. You then select an anchor point on where you'd like to start your path. Then you select another anchor point to where you'd like the path to go. You can move the path around by holding down the left trigger on your mouse. Once you have it selected where you'd like it to go, you can make another anchor point. You can then move all the other anchor points around just like you moved the first one around. You can do as many anchor points as you want. And once you have your path created, you can use the text tool to type something along the path. Use the horizontal text tool. And now you may type anything you'd like to. We are going to type Steelers. You may now change the color of the text by going to the swatches panel and moving your mouse around to the color you'd like. You may also change the font by going to the font panel and picking whatever font you would like. You may also change the font size by going to the font panel. And that is how you add text to a path. We will now show you how to add vertical text to a picture. The first thing you do is go to the horizontal type tool and right click and select the vertical type tool. Then you will create the text box in which you will type. Once you've done that, you may type anything you'd like. We are going to type Steelers. After you have typed your type, you can select it and go to the font and change it. You might change it to anything you would like. You may also change the size of the font, but we will go with 72 size font. Then you can change the color as well, going to the swatches panel and changing the color to anything you would like. We will choose yellow. And that is how you add vertical text to an image.